Before we begin, I want you to take a slow breath because this story is not just a story. This is for you, yes, you the person listening right now. For the days you feel tired, overwhelmed, or unsure whether you can keep moving forward. Tonight, you will hear the story of someone who stood exactly where you stand now and discovered a strength they didn't know they had. So relax, let your shoulders drop, and let this story remind you that no matter how dark your path feels, your light is not gone. It's simply waiting for you to see it again. There was a young man named Daniel who lived in a quiet town tucked between tall, old mountains. From the outside, he looked like anyone else. He woke up, worked, tried his best, but inside his heart, a storm had been growing. Dreams he once believed in now felt unreachable. The future he imagined felt like it was slipping farther away every day. No matter how hard he tried, life kept pushing him back, and little by little, hope began to fade. One cold evening, after yet another day full of disappointment, Daniel felt something inside him break. Without thinking, he put on his jacket and walked out of town, past the last streetlight, into the mountains. The sky was heavy with clouds, and the wind whispered thoughts he wished he could silence. Why am I even trying? What's the point? Will my life ever change? He didn't know what he was searching for. He just knew he wanted to escape from the noise, from the expectations, from the fear he carried everywhere. As he climbed higher, the clouds opened and rain poured down, soaking his clothes and chilling his bones. But he kept going. Eventually, he reached a cliff overlooking the valley. Below him, the town lights glowed faintly, like tiny stars fighting the darkness. Daniel sat on an old wooden bench, exhausted, defeated, and for the first time in his life, he wondered if he should simply give up on everything. Maybe this is it, he thought. Maybe I'm not strong enough. For a long moment, the world was silent, too silent. Then Daniel heard footsteps approaching behind him. He turned slowly and saw an old man wearing a long gray coat, his face lined with years of quiet wisdom. The man smiled gently and asked, "Mind if I sit here?" Daniel hesitated, then nodded. They sat together in silence while the rain softened into a quiet drizzle. Finally, the old man spoke. "You look tired," he said, "but not the kind of tired sleep can fix." Daniel didn't respond, but the old man didn't need an answer. He pointed to the valley below. "See those lights?" he asked. "They look small from here, don't they? Almost weak. But if you walk closer, you'll see they shine bright enough to guide you home." Daniel stared at the lights, unsure what to say. The old man continued, "Your problems seem enormous right now because you're looking at them from far away. You're staring at the entire mountain when all you need to think about is the next step." Daniel swallowed hard. He had never heard it put that way before. After a long pause, he whispered, "But what if I'm not strong enough?" The old man smiled warmly. "Oh, you are. You just can't see your strength in the dark." People rarely can. As the clouds slowly parted, moonlight fell across the valley, lighting everything in soft silver. The old man leaned forward and said quietly, "You know, there was a time I came up this mountain for the same reason you did. I sat right here, thinking my life was over, thinking I had nothing left." Daniel looked at him in surprise. "But something changed," he said. "Life changed. And it changed because I stayed long enough to let it." He rested a hand on Daniel's shoulder. "You think you're at the end of your story, but you're not. You're in a hard chapter, and hard chapters create strong characters." Daniel felt something inside him shift a small spark, a tiny warmth. The old man continued softly, "Hope isn't about seeing the light. Hope is believing the light is there, even when everything around you is dark, and faith. Faith is taking one more step even when you can't see the path." Those words sank into Daniel's heart like gentle rain. He felt a lump in his throat as something he thought he had lost slowly returned. Not fully, not brightly, but enough to breathe again. The rain stopped. The valley glowed under the rising moon. The old man stood up. "Whenever life becomes too heavy," he said, "come back here, look at the lights. And remember this, even the smallest light can guide you through the darkest night. Daniel wanted to ask his name, but the old man had already begun walking down the path, disappearing into the trees. Daniel sat alone again, but this time he didn't feel alone. The silence was no longer frightening, it felt peaceful. He stood up, wiped his tears with the back of his hand, and slowly made his way down the mountain. The path was slippery, the rocks uneven, and the night still cold, but step by step, he moved forward. For the first time in months, he felt something that had been missing: hope. Not because his problems vanished, not because life instantly changed, but because he realized something powerful. You don't overcome darkness by waiting for it to disappear. You overcome darkness by moving toward the light, even if it feels far away. And that night, Daniel finally understood that he wasn't finished. His story wasn't done, and neither is yours. If you're listening right now, I want you to hear this clearly. Don't give up. Not tonight, not tomorrow, not ever. You have survived every single bad day in your life so far. You have lived through storms that would have destroyed someone else. You are stronger than you think. You are braver than you feel. And you matter more than you realize. Your story is still being written, and this chapter, this difficult, painful chapter, is not the end. It might even be the reason you rise higher than ever before. So hold on, breathe, take one more step. Your light is not gone, it's waiting for you, just ahead. Your story isn't finished, and the world has not yet seen the best of you.